Hello, and welcome to Nobody Union's series of the First War, where we discuss everything entailing the First War, as well as a chronological list of battles and events that occurred during the conflict. So in this series, as just mentioned, I will be covering all things pertaining to the First War. I will first give a chronological list of events and battles that occurred during it. Then I will follow up with an entire list of events that occurred before the First War, during the war, and between battles, and immediately following it. Now, since Blizzard has not come out with a completed chronological list of events, I was forced to search for every minute detail and event that regards the First War. So this list will be comprised of references and sources from many different things, such as the Last Guardian novel, the comic book series, the RPG books, WoW in game, the Warcraft 1 and 2 manuals, as well as the Warcraft 1 Orcs and Humans RTS game. Some of the battles and events may not be considered, quote, official, as mentioned, since Blizzard hasn't stated whether or not the battles and events listed throughout their series will be retconned, or other things like that have been. However, Blizzard has stated before that anything mentioned in their books regarding the universe is to be considered canon, so this can be somewhat confusing, and until Blizzard actually states whether or not they're going to retcon anything, or at least give their list of events, then there's nothing that we can really be too certain about. Thus, until Blizzard officially confirms the battles and events, we will only have vague references to battles mentioned about the war. However, I will be using virtually every source available to entail the war itself. Blizzard has already retconned things pertaining to the First War, such as how long Medivh was in a coma for, when Blackhand became the first war chief of the Horde, how long Gul'dan was in a coma for, or when Durotan was assassinated. These are just some of the things that Blizzard has changed throughout the years pertaining to this time period in conflict. However, though this list was incredibly complex and difficult to create, I still will be sharing everything that I possibly can entailing this war. I also know that I had originally planned on doing the War of the Ancients first. However, since the Warcraft film will be coming out next year, I wanted to go ahead and do the First War, to help promote it and to let you guys be aware what to expect, or maybe keep your eyes open for and looking for certain things throughout the film. I also will be doing a movie review following this list. I think it will be very interesting to see what battles and events the film will entail. Granted, I already have my suspicions, but I'm not entirely sure if they're going to keep the film completely canon or not. So this video is really just an introduction to the series, and I wanted to let you all be aware what to expect. Just know that with all these events and battles, I ended up going with the earliest sources, as to help place everything together, and used many references from both the Last Guardian novel and from the RTS game itself. Though this list isn't completely canon, as I already stated, I will do my best to make sure it is as accurate and complete as possible. This is done only for educational purposes, and is in an attempt to help people understand what occurred during the conflict. Until Blizzard comes out with a fully detailed analysis of the First War, I believe this will be the most complete chronological list that we'll have to date. Not to toot my own horn, but simply stating that I really put in a lot of time and effort to complete this list. So anyways, without anything further ado, let's get into the First War.